What's going on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all platforms? Welcome to another episode of New York Giants Full Access with the Big Blue Crew right here on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network, man. We got Big Lou, we got Coach Ed, and we may have a special guest on tonight. So tune in. We're going to get into the intro, and we're going to talk about the New York Giants versus the Lions preseason game. So let's get to it.
Welcome to New York Giants Full Access with Big Pat Sports Talk, where you get the latest and realest Giants news and content. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Want to talk your talk with Big Pat Sports Talk and become an official Big Blue Crew member? Hit the join button in the description. Wanna look fly is some Big Pat Sports Talk merch? Head over to the Big Pat Sports Shop and grab you some gear. The link is in the description.
New York Giants Full Access, all Giants, all the time. All right, Giants fans. New York Giants Full Access is now live. Enjoy the show.
And yes, sir, we are in the building tonight for New York Giants Full Access. What's going on, everybody? Shout out to the chat. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights in the building. Little Bulldozers in the building. NYT is in the building. Red Fox is in the building, man. So I know you guys are going to be coming in throughout the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we're going to be talking a little bit about the New York Giants versus the Detroit Lions preseason game, which will be called right here on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network live. I believe it's at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. my time. So we're going to call that game. First and foremost, what's going on, Alex? Put the link in the chat for you, Alex, if you want to come on. Average Beast, what's going on? Tyrone Hall, what's going on? Coach, looks like the reports are that the starters will not play this first preseason game. Looks like most of the starters will be out. You may see somebody like Jalen Hyatt get a couple of snaps in there with Drew Lock. But for people that were looking for the starters to play, they will not see the starters. And I believe that's an actual good move considering the turmoil that happened at the joint practices when we dominated the Lions. But instead of taking their medicine, they wanted to fight and do all type of things. So you don't want to risk somebody trying to, take out one of your starters because they're still angry from what happened at the joint practices. But going to start with Coach, and then we're going to get to Lou. What do you guys think about the starters not playing in the first preseason game?
It's not a big issue. I get it. It makes sense. Plus with the joint practices, that's where you try to get most of your work in anyway. So, as a fan, would you want to see it? Yeah, just a little bit, not too much. Maybe a series, but you don't want anybody to get hurt, and it's the first preseason game, so it's better to be smarter. It's a long season, so
Lou, you got static in your mic too. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I'm good. I was finished.
Okay.
My mic is muted.
No, you got static in your mic. That's why I wanted to see what it was. It's your mic. For some reason, I always do. I don't know why. But Little Bulldozer, no, you will not see Malik Neighbors. Definitely you won't see Malik Neighbors because they're going to want to try to do something to him
Check.
real bad. Now it's better. Ghost Dog, what's going on? Alex says guys like Flott and McLeod need to play. Guys that are second-year players / vets who need to compete for roster battles. I do believe Cordell Flott and Nick McLeod will be your starting corners, and Drew Phillips will be the starting nickel corner. Because they have to see who's going to step up and play the best out of those two guys to fight for the cornerback 2 position. Hey, here's our special guest, co-founder of the Big Blue Crew right here with Big Lou and Big Pat. We got Joe, a.k.a. Gandalf. What's going on,
And
Joe?
I know what I'm talking about. Mark my words, it will come around. Sure enough, it did.
Yep. As you guys know, that Joe actually was saying some of the things that these media guys are saying now. Oh, Daniel Jones' contract at $40 million average per is going to be a steal now because all the other quarterbacks got paid. And Joe was actually the one to actually predict that Daniel Jones was going to get $40 million a year. If you go back to our lives, even before Daniel Jones got paid, if you remember, he was like, hey, they're going to give Daniel Jones a big old bag of money. And he predicted it was going to be $40 million a year. And he hit it right on the tee. So, Joe, we ain't seen you in a while, man. Say some things to the chat, man. Good to see you in good spirits, man.
Why am I the only one speaking?
Because
you're
the one
you're the man of the hour. Talk to him for a little bit. They haven't seen you in a while, Joe. They haven't seen you in months because you've been rehabbing.
I've been working out. Hey, it is what it is. Whoops.
Okay, Joe. Starting on him.
Look like you done gained some weight, too.
See if I can do this one. Woo.
Okay. You got it, Joe.
Yeah.
You got it. Relax.
Need help getting up?
There we go.
There you go.
There you go, Joe.
No.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Pretty soon you'll be able to use your pimp cane in a little bit.
Yeah. There. Get you guys back on the screen.
All right.
Hell yeah.
But that's called progress, people. What's going on, Joey? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, Tyrone Hall, we discussed that on the last live stream, but we'll discuss it a little bit more going throughout the show. J-Man, thank you for tuning in. Next Shift, thank you for tuning in. Marley Mall, thank you for tuning in. Haven't seen you two guys in a minute. Hope all is well with you guys. Daniel Smith, what's going on? But speaking of the whole Daniel Jones situation, here with the Big Blue Crew, we were saying that a long time ago that Daniel Jones' contract will actually be a steal if he turns out to be playing very well underneath the current contract. Because we said people like Tua and Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, all those guys were going to start getting paid. And it looks like it came true. And we said this 2 years ago before when Daniel Jones signed the contract. So I don't know why they were so blind until right now. And maybe they see it now because we have a guy named Malik Neighbors that's a number one receiver. But Lou, I want you to speak on that a little bit and speak on how do you feel about the starters not playing in this very first preseason game?
Well, I mean, as Coach said earlier, first preseason, considering we only got 3 preseason games now, you kind of want them to get one series. But like you said earlier, with all the bad blood of us doing the Lions dirty in the 2 joint practices that we had, We dominated them. They were salty. There was a lot of scuffles. So yeah, you don't want to risk them being angry and trying to injure one of you guys in a preseason game and ruin your season, derail your season. So yeah, I think it's smart to not play them against the Lions. Let them get some run in the second preseason game, and then let them get a quarter in the last preseason game.
Yeah, I truly believe that because you don't want any of that bad blood to spill over onto that field, and then somebody like a Daniel Jones gets clipped in the knee, or somebody like Malik Neighbors, who they will target if he was on the field, gets
Because
injured and
he
can't
literally
start the
threw balls
season.
with somebody.
Yeah,
Yep.
they were gonna do it last year, and people were bitching. They cut the practices down to 3, and people were upset. They're not seeing their starters playing. Why did they want to? Man, hide that crap. Put it in the put it in the closet. You know, it's 17 weeks.
Mhm.
17 weeks is these
We
guys
fought with
got to
competition
go
over
out
here.
and put their bodies through what they put them through. My heart goes out to them. Daniel Jones, uh, all of them, because even the lowest guy is a member of a team. There were 53 members of the team. If he can make the 53, my heart goes out to him. What the? Why? Why do people complain so much?
Facts.
Because it's their time of the month.
Oh yeah, that time of the month. Oh boy, a bunch of guys must need. Never mind, I could go there. Go there. But man, just play football. Us as fans, watch the football and
Man, sound like
just
running water
relax
over there.
and have a good time, guys.
But I know Joe, they complain so much, man. It's ridiculous. They complain like they actually out there on the field. But
Man, I've
shout
been
out to Joe.
watching some of the posts and some of the stuff you're going through. You
Yeah,
keep
that's
coming
what it
back
is.
at them. You're right. I'm going to say, keep me posted. I want to see the end results. Big Pat was right. Lou was right. Ed Gladney was right. NYG was right. Can't people like see this? Huh?
Tell them,
Yeah,
Joe.
We do. We're 5 guys from everywhere, and we're going to meet up, and we're going to be together. Look out, world. That's all I got to say.
hey, but just noticing, Joe, you sound like 20 times better from the very beginning, bro. You done made
Oh,
a
I
lot of
am.
progress, bro.
I am. My speech has improved. My swallow. I can't believe how much stuff you go through after a stroke.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know your swallowing, your speech.
Pause.
Man, I'm putting my right leg through hell. Uh, I, it's coming along, but it's slowly. That's what's getting me. I used to work out, lift
I saw
weights,
you break my loss
exercise.
like I was gonna win again.
I would always always doing physical activity. Man, man, you guys don't want nothing to do with it. Go to the doctor. Get checked out. See someone. If you aren't, go find one. You should. You want to take care of your body. If I'm 55 and I want to live to be 85, please. And everybody else, please, just go see a doctor. Get a checkup. Because man, tick, 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 it was a ticking time bomb. And all of a sudden that muscle or that vein blew up here, about right here on the back of my skull. And I'm going in hell. But I'm going to keep going through hell. You know why?
Because we go 15 rounds, bitch. That's right. That's right.
Ah!
That's
That
right.
was cool.
Damn
Hey,
right.
get that 11-6 Believe G Nation shirt at the G Nation sports shop as well.
Yeah,
That
that
shit's
shirt
dope.
be wearing. Hit my merch shop and go cop you one, man. The Giants going 11-6. Believe that shit.
That shit gonna hit this year, Lou. That prediction gonna hit this year, bro.
I know.
This year it's gonna hit. Word
It was
up.
real close to hitting in 2022. If it wasn't for a tie, we probably would have hit right on the dot. If it wasn't for that stupid tie against the Commandos. But man, Joel, just to tell you, man, I'm extremely proud of you, bro, man. Keep fighting and keep working out and keep going at it, bro. Like, it's like night and day almost now, bro. You almost there. Just keep
It
going.
is. Thank you. I know I've had a lot of prayers sent to me, and I can use all the help that I can get.
Hey,
But hey, what the hell are we making this show about me for?
I told you they ain't seen you in months, man. They
Oh,
ain't seen
yeah.
Joe.
bro.
Oh, hell, you'll
Everybody
see
asking,
enough of
where's
me.
Joe? Where's Joe? Where's Joe? Where's Gandalf? Where's Joe?
Yeah, we're yeah. haha,
He was in
You're
the
funny.
Shire smoking green with the hobbits. We had to go
Yeah.
Right.
find him.
Yeah.
Over there in the Shire. But yeah, this Giants season, I'm looking forward to see what this offense does, man. And I'm actually looking forward to see if they let Jalen Hyatt play a couple of series in this game to see if he can go against the twos and see if he can dominate. I'm also wanting to see what Ojulari does coming in against the twos to see if he can dominate, because we need those guys to dominate players as such, because they're our primary depth pieces, you know. So I want to see what those guys can do. And NYG, to get to you, we was just talking about how do you feel about the New York Giants sitting their starters for game one, and Malik Neighbors' debut probably won't be till preseason week 2. How do you feel about that?
Get those likes up, guys.
Shit, that's the best news of the day. Shit. Well, we don't need Neighbors to prove anything to us. We already know what type of dude he is. So to me, the only people that do need to prove are the backups. And those are the dudes that should be playing. Now, I would like to see the offensive line get a series, but if Daniel Jones isn't playing, that's kind of pointless. So I'm fine with it. I think the Giants showed enough in those joint practices to where they got enough work to where they don't necessarily need to put them starters out there right away. Let them get a little more chemistry. Let them get a little more rhythm. You know, throw them out there in game 2, see what they do. Give them a series or 2. Cool with that. I don't need to burn these dudes out off the jump. You know what I'm saying? Because the last thing we need is some fluke-ass injury in a meaningless fucking preseason game. That's the last thing the New York Giants need right now. So
Agreed.
to me, it's gotta be to the point to where Dable and them are comfortable with what they seen with the offense so far through the first week and through these joint practices, to where they can be like, okay, let's run our twos out there. Let's see what they got. Let's you know what I'm saying? Let's ramp up the competition with the back end pulls and roster guys, and
Right there.
let's see what we can do. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I feel about it. I'm because if they didn't show what they showed in them Lions joint practices, I'd be like, yeah, them dudes need to play. But since they came out with that type of intensity in those joint practices, because remember, this is the whole point they start doing joint practices, because they don't want to put starters out there in preseason game to get live reps against competition. This is why they started doing the joint practices. So I'm totally cool with it, bro. But I'll pass the mic. And what's good, Joe? My brother from another, man. Long time no see, man. Appreciate you on the panel, bro.
So, speaking of people, go ahead, Coach.
I just want to say something.
Miss Kim.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's good with you?
Let the dogs loose.
Well, the dogs won't be let loose too much in this very first game unless we got some dogs on the depth, which I'm ready to see. You will see people like Theo Johnson. You will see people like Turbo Miller and Tyrone Tracy. You will see Cordell Flott and Nick McLeod battle for that number 2 cornerback position. You will see Tyler Nubin. I want to see what Chapman can do when he gets in there. I want to see what Jordan Riley can do when he gets in there.
I get on the back of this too.
So there's a lot of guys that you're going to see what happens when they get into the game.
Do it.
And we got a lot of young pieces that we need to see. So if Coach got to let you go first because you talking about letting the dogs out. Some of these young dogs that we have on this team, who are you looking forward to seeing in this first preseason game?
Of course, I want to see. I'm calling him Sheriff Ping 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 Ricochet Rabbit.
You're right.
I mean, I want to see Turbo. I want to see what he can do out there. I want to see that speed, man. I really want to see how he can change and force defenses to. And force defensive players how they play him and see the fear of his speed. So I definitely want to see him. If Nubin plays, I definitely want to see Nubin what he's going to bring to the table as a safety. Of course, I got to see Flott. I mean, he has to step up and show something. I mean, he really does, because if not, then, is it time to really move him down the roster, so, and I do want to see what Azudu's going to do on the offensive line, because they seem to trust him as a tackle, and I really want to focus in on him and see why they have so much confidence in him as a swing tackle as opposed to the guard, because I'm like everyone else. I thought he was a guard, but right now they got him as a tackle, so because after last year it was just like
at the same time sometimes.
So, but I'll pass the mic. Y'all got it. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know, Lou, if you're there. What do you I know you always talking about the defensive line and the offensive line.
Yes.
What do you want to see from the backups in the trenches in this very first game?
I want to see the offensive line push the pile. And I want to see the defensive line knock the offensive linemen on their ass. Simple and plain. I want the backups to mow over the linemen, and I want the offensive linemen to hold their fucking ground without holding and getting penalties. That's what I want to see. Because if the backups are doing it penalty-free, then the starters better be way better.
Yep. I agree 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, now I'm not on the flip phone. I'm on the road, bro. I've been on the road for 3 fucking days. So I've been I don't want to fuck up the audio, so I'm just gonna drop in the chat. Like, but I've been on the fucking road, bro, for 3 days, grinding my ass off. Pause. So I'm sorry I'm not on the cozy laptop to give you guys the great audio. And I'm sorry I couldn't do my live last year, but nigga, I got to fucking work. So I apologize for that. I'm gonna drop in the chat. So I don't want to fuck up the show.
Hey, keep up the grind though. Ain't nothing wrong with getting that bread, fam.
You ain't lying, because driving them trucks ain't nothing to mess with.
Everybody who is not subscribed to Joe, go do it. The link is in the chat. I'm gonna go break you guys' thumbs if you don't go subscribe to Classified 3F with Joe. I put the link in the chat right there, so y'all can go subscribe and let's get Joe to 500 subs today. Damn it!
How many subs do you have, Joe?
Huh?
23.
How many subs do you have?
About 400.
Okay.
I've lost a couple since I took a vacation. Don't worry, guys. I'll come back.
Bigger and better than ever.
And these freaking I gotta turn this off. I'll jump back in.
Okay.
Okay, Joe. According to some analysts, it takes 3 to 5 years to develop
How can I?
tackle on average. Can we afford to be that patient with Azudu and McKeithen? I don't think they showed us enough to be patient with McKeithen, especially. McKeithen hasn't shown me much of nothing. I know he's around because he's played center and he could be a backup, but
Alex says no, Zulu Makita just ass.
Alex said it best. There you go. That was the most articulate way to say it. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, Sleazy, what's going on, Sleaze? Deontay Johnson, the backup middle linebacker that we got in undrafted free agency in 2023. He actually did pretty well, and he's actually been doing pretty well since he's been getting some reps in training camp. So that's one of the guys I'm excited to see as well. Yeah, because if he could be a very good backup, we don't have to go out there and try to search for another linebacker because we already got Bobby O and McFadden. And if he could come in and be a very good backup, he'll probably be the primary backup, because I think they're going to play Isaiah Simmons in the slot corner role, which is crazy. But we'll see. He's definitely a guy that we're going to be looking at during that preseason game. Another guy that I want to look at, pause, in that preseason game is Javarius Owens and Bryce Ford Wheaton. I want to see what Bryce Ford Wheaton could do if he's healthy enough to go out there and play. Because if he's not healthy enough to go out there and play, it's going to look real grim for his career, because he's not putting any film out there for any other team to pick him up if we don't have him on our practice squad of 53. You say Bryce Ford Wheaton is overrated. Well, it's kind of hard to be overrated when you don't have a rating yet. We got to see what he can do. I mean, he did look pretty decent before he got his knee injury last year. So, I mean, you can take that however you want it, but definitely looking to see what Tommy DeVito does. Well, we know what really Tommy DeVito is. We really know what Drew Lock is. So, not really concerned about the quarterback. Only thing about the quarterback is concerned is see if they can get it to those weapons. Is Allen Robinson going to come out there and dominate some second stringers to see if the wily veteran can get that last spot? But I'm with this too. He says my boy Newman got to take it up a notch. He's too talented, in my opinion, to be sitting on the bench. That That may be true, Sleeves, but he's a rookie, and Dane Belton has showed out. So we'll see with those guys, man. Alex says, "Nah, Pat. I see Giants fans all over Twitter spitting his name. They should put it towards a player like Josh Miles. That's another guy that could actually make an impact in these games coming up in the preseason. You might sneak around and try to get a 53-man roster if all the other three guys ahead of him, man. Uh, Allen Robinson shows that he's too old, and Isaiah Hodgins, maybe he's not the same guy that he was 2 years ago, and Bryce Ford Wheaton, if he can't get on the field, Josh Miles does have a chance to get in there and do something. But like Coach said, I am trying to see what Azudu can do and what Kubas can do. There's another guy, I think his name is what's the other guy that people think is Andrew Thomas that was getting bullied at one time, but it was number 70. What's his name? Is his name Miles too? Something Miles? I think that is.
I'll tell you in a second. Hold on.
I'm really looking to see what this offensive line can do. I'm definitely looking to see what Azeez Ojulari can do. J-Man. Yeah, Kajust. And there's another dude named Miles or something on the team too, Alex, on the offensive line.
On the offensive line, Kajust. You said what number? 70?
I think his number was 70.
Mayfield, Runyon.
I think Mayfield. There you go.
Oh, Mayfield is 62.
Oh,
hold on.
man, what's that dude's name, man?
Zudo, Keithan, Schlotman, Stenny, and because they separate everything, and they don't put all the offensive linemen together when I do position. Kajus, Kajus is 70. Marcellus Johnson is 71. Joshua Miles is 77.
Yeah, there you go. Joshua Miles. Him. He's actually shown a little talent there.
Okay.
Alex, the only reason why he's playing reps at center, bro, is because John Michael Schmitz was hurt and they wanted to get him on the field with Stenny. Because they wanted to see what Stenny could do at guard, because I think they already know what Van Rotten can do at guard, but they want to see if Stenny can actually outplay him, and looks like that hasn't happened so far. Oh man, hey Tyrone Hall, don't do that, man. Boogie bashing. I don't want to see no boogie bashing.
He playing small.
Your boy Booger.
Yeah.
Booger ain't doing nothing.
Does McKeithen get any reps? It's just like McKeithen is like out of the 13 linemen, 14th. Like, does he even get any reps? He's gonna need the reps, man, for sure. I don't know, man, but Coach, what do you think is gonna happen during this first preseason game?
Miles. It was Joshua Miles.
Yeah, Josh Miles. What do you think?
Giants fans really got hype over a Joshua Miles one-on-one rep versus Aiden Hutchinson. It was Aiden Hutchinson versus Joshua Miles. They got hype over that.
They got more problems to worry about. He says, hey, listen, Pat, Boogie is edge 4. I understand that, but why not play Morrissey / Schlotman at center if you're going to do that with Van Rotten? That's just my opinion. That's just my explanation. I'm not saying that's fact, but I just think they just wanted to see what Van Rotten can do out there. And maybe they don't have that much confidence in Morrissey or Schlotman. You see what I'm saying? Maybe those dudes might not even make the roster, and they just say, hey, look, if we get an injury at center, we're going to put Van Rotten at center. You know, so I don't know what they're thinking. But, hey, just put the best lineman on the team and put the best lineman on the field. Yeah, you are going to see Trey Hawkins and see what he can do out there. And if he goes out there and looks crazy, he might get beat out by one of those backup cornerbacks that we brought in, like those 3 veterans that we brought in, like Trey Herndon, the dude from the Commanders, and it was one other guy they brought in. So they're fighting for special teams, but if Trey Hawkins doesn't show up and he continues to get scorched, one of those guys will probably take that roster spot from Hawkins, and he may have to go to the practice squad. Who knows? But Coach, what do you think is going to happen in this preseason game? Like, what do you think? Who's going to step up in this preseason game? Who do you think is going to step up?
What's going to happen is going to be, as far as schematically, it's going to be very vanilla, very, very vanilla. Seriously, to the average fan, it might get very boring. To be brutally honest, if you're not very into all the little small details and the small factors, like a fool like me, it's not your type of game. I mean, maybe a little inside zone, outside zone in the run game, maybe a couple screens, you want to test down the field, not too many combination routes, some of the most basic combination routes. That's pretty much it defensively. Your standard, I'm going to say we're a 4-2-5 defense. So, we're going to play base for the most part, some of the basic coverages on the back end, a little bit of man here or there just to see, what guys can do, if they're able to handle that. And some of the zones, are they able to pass off when they need to? But overall, that's pretty much it. I really am not expecting no explosive, dynamic plays or anything like that, which most fans want to see. No, it's the first preseason game, and you want to see a lot of the other players because you know who you really are going to count on. You already went through, the two joint practices, so most of the key players, you got to see what you needed to see out of them. Everyone else is just going to be very simple, getting a little acclimated to Dave's with his play calling and how he wants to do things, and with him being a play caller. That's pretty much it. As far as, guys stepping up, like I said, I do want to see how he's going to perform. I think he has the opportunity. I don't want to say he's going to step up, but I do think Joshua Ezeudu, he's going to be a little bit more confident because he's been playing only one position. So I think he can step up and solidify that left tackle. Again, I still want to see why, but with him not, NYG always talks about it, not bouncing linemen around. He hasn't bounced around. So, he's just going to play confidently at that position. And we'll see what happens from there. So, as far as the skill guys, I really can't call who I think is going to step up other than that, bro. Seriously.
Okay, well, there's a question for you, Coach. He says, that's what's confusing me, Coach. You tell me that the air raid won't work as a scheme on offense, but a lot of defenses are running the 4-2-5 as a piece.
And your point is with the air raid versus the 4-2-5, the 4-2-5 is a nickel concept. Teams are running nickel concept. I just don't believe in the air raid offense in terms of, because I studied what Mike Leach does, and he does a lot of very simple stuff, and you can do that in college. Are there some principles that you're going to use? Yes, but as a foundational piece. See, and that's the thing. When you say, can you run the air raid as a foundational piece, as a base? No, I can't believe that. I in watching Mike Leach and what he's done and going through all the clinics that I've watched him talk about it, no, I can't believe that that's going to work consistently in the NFL. Some plays, some principles, some concepts, sure. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not going to work, but as a base offense, no. A 4-2-5, when I say that, that's nickel defense. So if you wanted me to say nickel, I'll say nickel. That's been prevalent for decades. That's nothing new. Teams have been running nickel. You're pulling out a linebacker and you're bringing in a nickel back. That's all you're doing. Just like if you do dime, you're playing with 6 defensive backs. That's all you're doing. So, as far as the air raid, no, I'm not confident, and I don't believe an air raid defense will work in the NFL on a consistent basis. But that's my opinion, but who am I?
So, yeah, I mean, we all have our opinions, and sometimes we're wrong, sometimes we're right. And sometimes we're just indifferent. You could be right and wrong at the same time. But speaking of concepts and things, let's listen to what Mr. Dan Campbell said he saw that we were doing during those practices.
For us defensively, it's the first time we've faced this year a significant amount of like gun action, gun runs, some of these things where they're creating some two back out of 11 personnel. It's just a little different. And then Dayball's got some wrinkles here offensively that are really good for us, you know. Some of it are things that we've kind of seen from our offense, but they're different, you know. They're different wrinkles on top of things that they see every day with us. So, and anytime you get those looks, it's good. There's a little bit of RPO in here that we haven't run a ton of. We have it, but certainly they do more of it. So for us defensively, it's the first time we've faced this year a significant amount of.
So he's saying that we were running a lot of stuff out of the shotgun, which Lou predicted in the very beginning of the season. He says we out of every 10 plays we're going to throw it 7 to 8 times. So Lou, hearing an actual NFL coach actually repeat some of the same things that you said that he saw in our offense, how do you feel about us being a primarily shotgun type team going into this season?
Do I like it? Can't say that I do. I come from the era where we line up and we run through you. But, you know, the game has evolved, and the type of linemen that we have acquired are predominantly pass protection linemen. We don't have a bunch of run blockers. We got rid of our most valuable running back asset in Saquon Barkley. So our running back now is a running back who is a former wide receiver, which gives you the ability to utilize him in some gimmicks and a lot of short passing. And when you add that with the fact that we have mostly a pass protecting line, it would lead you to assume that most of our running will be out of screen passes out of the backfield, and short yardage, stuff like that would be our run game predominantly. So, you know, it kind of all adds up, which is why I said it in the first place. But, you know, everybody likes to run the big Blue Crew Sports Network bandwagon and say stuff months after we say it. So.
Coach, what you think about that before I give my opinion on it? What do you think about the little snippet that we played with Dan Campbell, what he saw from our offense in that training camp practices, joint practices?
Am I like Lou? Do I like it? No. Do I like to have a little bit more under the gun action? Yes. One of the things that I've always appreciated about DJ is his play action when he's under the gun, you know, setting up, giving run action does draw the defense in. So, and it can lend to helping up open the offense a little bit more. But when you play a lot more in the shotgun, you know, it limit. I don't want to say limits, but it changes some of your running principles. Yes, you know, your inside zone, outside zone, as opposed to, you know, many teams don't do ISO anymore, but and a lot of lead blocking, but you know, it still takes away if you want to go in the eye and do play action where the quarterback turns his back to the defense, where now you're holding the linebackers and even the safeties because they have to wait to the quarterback to see what he's doing with the football. And that opens, like I said, that opens up on the back end your passing game. So I don't like it. It takes away a lot of power. I mean, you could still run power out of the shotgun, but you know, it's not the traditional sense, you know, where you're in the gun, you're giving it, you could pull the backside guard. It just takes away a lot of what you want to do in the run game. It does spread the offense, and I get that point. You know, everyone is doing 11 and 10 personnel nowadays. So, you know, whether you're doing bunch, whether you're doing 2x2, you know, even if you go to empty, you know, I understand you're spreading the defense in that respect. But, you know, it does kind of in a sense, it does kind of make you become one dimensional, especially it's easier for the defense to take away your run game. It really is. Defenses pretty much say they're not a power running game. They're going to be inside, outside zone. They're going to be more, in the sense, more finesse in their blocking scheme. So that for me, that's what it takes away. But I get it. I understand. Just like Anthony is alluding to, quote unquote, the air raid. I understand where he's going with that in terms of spreading it. But, in terms of what you're saying, in terms of the K gun, the air raid, those are more college based, and there's some of the things that you can do with that is more advantageous because of the talent that you're going up against in college. It's a whole different ball game in the NFL, and players in the NFL are a lot smarter. They have more time to sit down and watch film and break down what you're trying to do overall. So it's not going to be as easy, but what we're trying to do, I really have to see a lot more, because I have concerns. We talk about that all the time last year, Pat. 3rd and 1, we're spreading the offense, spreading the field, and we're not manning up and just lining up and smacking people in the face. So
yeah. I just want to piggyback off you two guys about that. What's going on, Dash? It is a little bit concerning that we may be a primarily shotgun team. Reason why I've never seen the Giants actually do that. Like, we've always been a team that run out of power eye and strong eye, single back.
Process, strong eye,
eye
formation. Yep.
Yeah, so strong eye formation, 12 personnel. And when we were running the 12 personnel in 2022, we made the playoffs. So
we used to have the full house package.
Yep, the full house. It is a little bit alarming, but there are teams out there one team in particular that actually has a power run game out of the shotgun, and that is the Ravens. But the thing that the Ravens have, the reason why they can do that is Lamar Jackson. It's like having another running back out there, and he knows how to maneuver in between the tackles like a running back. Although Daniel Jones can scramble and get yards on his legs, he's not like Lamar Jackson when it comes to running the ball. Is either going to the outside or nothing. So it is a little bit concerning. The concerning part is do we have the athleticism?
John Neal.
What's going on, John Neal?
Appreciates that.
Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Yeah, let me put that thing on there. Is it concerning? Yeah, because when you're a team that has struggled mightily in picking up short yard situations, how are we going to do that? Are we going to put the onus on Daniel Jones and the receivers that much this year to where if it's 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 1, it's still going to be a pass play on those plays? You know what I'm saying? Some teams like the Ravens could pick up 3rd and 3s. Or they get 2.5 yards and 4th and 1. You know what time it is, the Eagles do it very well as well, run a whole lot of plays out of the shotgun, running plays, and have a power run game out of the shotgun. One of the reasons why is Jalen Hurts. He's like another running back as well. Daniel Jones is just not that type of quarterback. And then we have the backs to do it? Can Tyrone Tracy get up the middle of the field? Can Eric Gray do it? Can Turbo Miller do it? Can Singletary do it? I think Singletary does it the best, but that's not how you really want to run Singletary in between the tackles like that all game long, because he's not that type of back.
Now,
go ahead.
Do y'all remember about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, when I said we might be running the ball, like handing off the ball maybe 11 times a game? And everybody was like, no, man. Don't be surprised if we see that. Our running game is going to be short passing to the running backs, and we might actually see only like 11 handoffs a game.
Yeah, and I'll ask Coach, do you think that's a recipe for disaster?
Well, you said the first thing, do you have the personnel? So we have to see that. It's concerning. I'm not going to say it's a recipe for disaster, not just yet. it's concerning. The other factor is, you know what's going to happen you're playing in New York City. You know, there may be those moments where the weather is atrocious.
Dictates that you have to run.
You know, so that's where power running comes into play. At least have a power back that at least can help you get certain things. When you have those mid-level, mid-sized to smaller running backs, it's hard for them to fall forward, especially when they get hit. They don't, especially, and what about a lower base? Now I've seen small backs with a stout lower base. They're able to generate enough power to fall forward. Okay, that's good. Do we have a running back like that right now? No. And like I said, in those cold, Buffalo, they had Josh Allen. That's the X factor. He was your big back in those short yardage. Facts. If you're saying that's what you want DJ to be, that's a concern, especially if with let's call a spade with his injury histories.
Yep.
So that's why like Pat, and we were calling for getting a bigger back in this draft. With what's his name, with the kid from Notre Dame and the guy from Allen and Estime. So those problems, that's what I'm concerned with. If we run into those situations, and then I'm not saying we're going to. I'm hoping, but come playoff time, man, there's going to be moments when you're going to need to line up. And as Bill Parcells used to say, I don't care if they know what's coming. Can they stop it? Yep. That's a mindset.
Well, I hope you're right, average beast.
That to me is the biggest thing. So, is it to your initial question? Is it a recipe for disaster? I don't want to say it is right now. I have to wait and see. So, we'll see.
But see, the Detroit Lions had the offensive line to do that too, and they don't line primarily in the shotgun either. They will line up in the I form and hit you with David Montgomery across your head until you stop. I've seen that with the Lions last year. There's some bullies when you allow them to be some bullies.
But see, the other thing too, they did run power out of that formation. That's the one thing I will say. I've seen them run power. For those of you who don't know what I mean, you block down on one side and you pull a backside guard and pull them around, to help get an extra blocker on the strong side. So that helps. And they would do that even in single back formation.
We need to go sign a rugby player at running back because they play with no pads. You get that boy some pads, he running straight through. Go get a rugby player and convert him to running back. I'm all for somebody from Team Italy. I'm just saying,
But signing a power back, are we going to run a system where he can actually be effective? That's the point. You know what I'm saying? So we're primarily out of the ball. I mean, if we're running a primary shotgun type system, I don't know. I mean, there's another guy out there besides Leonard Fournette that I wouldn't mind him signing, and that's Levante Murray. Levante Murray, former Raider and former Bill. Shit, former Viking. Shit, he's a former everything because I think he played for the Saints too. But he would actually be pretty decent if we got a power back, man. That's just something concerning. And Coach brought it up before I could. We're in New York, man. When it gets into December and November and December and January, if we got a home game, you gonna have to run that ball, man. As great as Eli was, he still needed Amar Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs to push us through the playoffs, man, because it's cold. You got Green Bay that's cold. We're cold. Let's just say if Minnesota's a miracle gets there, well, they got a dome. Who all the team? Well, Dallas has a dome.
Philadelphia.
Philly is pretty cold.
Philly. Seattle. Well, Seattle is different. They're different.
It's like rainy and shit.
Correct somebody and say Latavius Murray and you forgot the I. Don't correct nobody if you can't spell nickel.
But It might be Latavius Murray. I thought it was Latavius though.
Latavius Murray. I ain't want to correct you on stream, but he man tried to do it.
But yeah, we're yeah, New England's in the AFC though. We won't see them in the playoffs.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just not the norm.
Yeah,
It's just not the norm with the New York Giants.
I get it. We're used to, and I understand today's day and age, and so on and so forth. But first and foremost, if we would want to have home field advantage, that's just a mindset. You have to think like that, no matter what. And then if it comes to fruition, now if you're traveling, like you said, Green Bay, Minnesota's not there. Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago makes it.
These areas, when the weather gets going, whether it's the wind. I remember seeing the Giants play the Chicago Bears back in '85, and the wind was taking control of that football.
Yeah.
So you need a running game. You really do, and you need a physical running game. Not right now. What I've seen with a lot of these offensive linemen, and I get it. I understand. You want to take the angle and you want to take the player where he goes. Van Roten. I mean, I was looking at him. And he can be physical in the run game at times, but he's more about taking an angle. And that's what you need. You need guys who are going to take the right angles, but you need them to be physical. Sometimes, the other thing is being physical in the run game is about telling the opposition, you in for a long game, baby. You in for a long game. I'm here to punch you in your face each and every play. And you're trying to break his will. That's the whole thing. I want to break your will. I want you to tap out and say, hey, coach, I need a break. I need to get out of here. I can't do it right now. That right there is the ultimate. As an offensive lineman, that's what you like seeing, because then you can sit there and you can smile and you see him, look at him over there on that sideline. He's over there taking a knee because I'm out here whooping his ass. I'm making him my lady. Go ahead, Lou. Go ahead and say it.
No, I wasn't gonna say it. I was actually going somewhere else.
Okay, but that's the thing, and that's what here being in New York. That's what you want to instill. And I get what Dable is trying to do. I've looked at their backs. They're all quicker, getting to the edge. If you really look at it, he's really trying in the running game. He's trying to go off tackle to the outside.
Mm-hmm.
He's really not trying to go inside if he doesn't have to. Maybe just to keep teams honest, but and he's going to try and use the screen game if possible to get guys out there. And which is why I think, I'm interested in Turbo with what he's going to do, and how he's going to produce, because, anytime you could scoop an Andrew AT out there on that edge with Turbo coming right behind him, that tells me everything I need to know. Yeah. That really tells me all I need to know. Dable is trying to get to outside. He's not trying to get up inside. He's trying to get away from all the trash that's in the middle. Get him outside. Get the linebackers running sideline to sideline. Come fourth quarter, they're going to be tired. Then you could try and hit them with passes behind. I get what he's trying to do, but when it comes that cold weather time, man, that's when you're going to see.
First time little man ever did this drill. First time. All right. The goal is to get past your man and get to the quarterback. In the Bobby Boucher jersey.
Right. That was great. Say it like Bobby Boucher right there.
First time doing the drill, bro.
He slung the other kid down to the ground.
I was supposed to sling him down, but first time doing the drill, I was just glad because the kid was bigger than him, and it's his first time doing it, and he was just like, "Get over here, we had the quarterback." I was like, "Yeah," but shout out to everybody in the chat. Sleazy, Tyrone Tracy Jr., I believe, is going to be utilized heavily, but in the short passing game. And because of his background as a receiver, converting over to running back, they say that he's watching film, studying, trying to learn as much as he can about the running back position and his responsibilities in this offense, which is a great thing. That's what you want from a guy you draft. You want him to be a sponge, and so far he's doing that aspect of it. Haven't seen too much of him on the field, but I'm assuming that that's for a reason. They're trying to keep all of that stuff under wraps until it matters. These games in preseason don't matter. They matter for you picking your roster, but they don't matter for your season. So you don't want to give away the goodies and have people figuring your stuff out and having tape on it. So I think Tyrone Tracy's going to be utilized heavily with the pass, though, as well as Singletary and every other running back we have. And don't be surprised if you see Wandale Robinson run a few quick run plays.
Yeah, definitely gonna see him on some jet sweeps, him and elite neighbors. I think we're just gonna try to outflank teams this year. We're gonna try to use our speed to outflank teams this year. But Joe, we were talking about the run game. It looks like that we're not gonna be running the ball that much, maybe 11 to 13 carries a game. If we do get to 20 carries in a game, it'd be a miracle. How do you feel about that this season? Do you feel is that a good way to go, or how do you just feel about us being not a running team anymore, basically being a shotgun pass type team?
Well, first of all, is that a game or is that a half?
A game.
What?
See?
No, you cannot. You cannot win.
Let me explain why. That's not what we're saying we want to see. We're saying that's what we might see because our offensive line that we have now is predominantly pass protectors, not run blockers. We got rid of our I guess we can say power back because we didn't really have a power back. We don't have Saquon Barkley no more. So the guys that we have is a running back who converted from wide receiver and then two running backs who aren't powerhouses or thumpers. So it's going to be running back by committee, and we don't have running blockers, right? We don't have run blockers. We got pass protectors. So I'm banking on their offensive scheme, and since we see them to do a lot of shotgun formations and running out of the shotgun, that they're going to be a pass predominant offense, and they're going to utilize the short game to the running
I
back.
wish you could turn on my camera right now. I look at you like, huh? What the hell are you talking about?
That's what they're planning to do. I'm just telling you.
Hold on. Hold the phone. What are the Giants known for? Especially with the new guy as the coach, and then above him.
Me.
What are they known for?
Defense and running the ball.
No. Bullshit. Their
They're
notion
known for bullshit for the last 10 years. Yeah.
Have you not seen those guys pull the wool over everybody else? Man, you can't deny it. He signed Jones for $40 million. It looked like a good contract. And it does. You can't deny it.
Well, we're saying, Joe, that the way they're building this team is not the way that it used to be. You know, we used to run the ball out of the I formation. Looks like we're going to be a primary shotgun team this year. And that's what I was asking you. How do you feel about that?
No. Anybody who's thinking that, suck wind. I'm telling you, you're going to get 18 to 23 carries.
You said
out of the
18 to
backfield.
23 carries, Joe?
Huh?
You saying they're still going to do between 18 to 23 carries a game? This Giants team this year.
Well, LaDainian Thompson wasn't a thumper.
That's true.
You know, I could. I'm sure if I sat down, I could come up with a few that he wasn't a thumper, but he got 1,300 yards a season.
Well, yeah, but they had run blockers. We don't have no run blockers other than Andrew Thomas.
You
Every
don't know
lineman
that.
we have is a pass protector.
Are you the coach?
I am a coach, just not of the
Well,
New York Giants.
okay, that's true. Yeah, he's a kid. God bless you for doing that too. but guys, let's wait and see week 1. We stayed up here, and you can talk about it. Yeah, but guys, let's just enjoy ourselves. Let's root for the team. Let's call the plays as we see them, but don't get ahead of ourselves. 12 to 13 carries. Man, I tell you what. I think somebody only won 4 games. They had a bad run game. But yeah, I can't come up with anything now.
Joel is not pleased with the idea of 11 carries, 13 carries a game.
Hey, I'm with him, but I'm just looking at the writing on the wall, though, Joe. Just to be honest with you, we may be proved wrong. Maybe they do find a way to get 20 carries a
That's
game.
It's play the cards that you got. We're gonna go in. All right, week 1, we're gonna do this. Week 2, nope, we gotta switch to that. Week 3, come on, 4. Hey guys, week 9, we gotta go to over this pond. Okay.
Yeah, the game plan can't change from week to week. We might play a team that's weak against the run. We might run the ball 24 to 25 times that game. I think Dabo's a very good coach at doing that. Well, we'll see. I'll take the Joel approach and I'll see. But my opinion in my head is like what Lou has been talking about. That run game, you barely might see it this year because I don't know. It just depends, Joe. Because when you play,
depend. Everything has got to work. Everybody's got to mesh.
True.
And if they mesh, they got a running game. Guys, we got a running game.
Listen, I hope I'm wrong.
Give it time.
I hope I'm wrong. I'm not saying I'm rooting for this to happen, Joe. I want you to understand me on this. I'm not saying I want them to run the ball 11 times a game.
Right.
Success. I'm just saying the way it's all lining up, the way the guys that they have, they're slim, small guys. They're quick. They can run, right?
Yes.
But our linemen are built for pass protection. So unless he can turn a bunch of pass protectors into run blockers in one off season, that'd be a hell of a fucking feat for this O-line coach for sure. But it's not looking like if they turn into a running team, it'll be later on in the season maybe. But for the first couple weeks, our run game, at least for the first couple weeks, is going to be predominantly short passing.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Ooh. I mean, guys, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
There you go. How's that?
Yeah.
We will see what'll happen. And all of a sudden, week 1 comes and goes. We talk about it. It could be. It couldn't be.
the way I'm
I don't
looking
know
at it,
either.
the way
But-
I'm looking at it, Joe, is Thomas can run block pretty doggone good. He can block, period. John Runyan is not that great of a run blocker. That's been proven throughout his career. But the thing I do kind of disagree with Lou on is light skinned Jermaine can run block. He can do both.
Yeah, but then you become
Coach,
predictable. You're just gonna run to the edges because you can't run up the interior.
Coach has already did his film, and he said that Van Rotten is a pretty good run blocker when you give him the chance to run block. Now,
Well-
JMS, that's up in the air. We have to find out what JMS is really about when he goes against these defensive tackles in the NFC East. But if Van Rotten is a better run blocker than advertised, and the JMS can run block pretty good, then I can see us running out the shotgun and being cool. But it like Joe said, you have to wait and see. From what I'm looking at it, we're not a run blocking type team, but it could actually change. You know what I'm saying?
Is it easier to run block or is it easier for them to pass block?
Well, look,
run blocking has always been easier.
So maybe, we all know scheme matters and coaching matters. So maybe they're looking at these guys and they think, okay, they're better run blockers in the shotgun. So let's design most of our runs out of the shotgun and give the NFL a different look and hard time to game plan for us. Meanwhile, we, explored our strengths and their weaknesses. So, who knows? I'm not in the film room. I'm not in the coaching room.
Hey, that's a great there's a great scheme to have. The right guard pulls left. And he takes the ball. Look, hey, he can hand it off or he can throw it. One of the two. If they've all backed up, they're in a five-man defense, we'll be getting 5-6 yards of carry. He comes on, and all of a sudden he puts in 4-man, puts 7 in the box. Woo! Slow, throws it down, touchdown. It's either or.
I mean, as far as the run game, I don't want to ask Coach this. I'm gonna go be on him for a little bit longer. As far as the run game, do you think we need to do more off tackle runs this season with the running backs that we do have? Off tackles and counters. That's what I really want to ask you. Counters. Do you think running counters could help this run game out a lot?
I gotta see the offensive lineman with their trap scheme. Especially Runyon. How does he handle opening up and getting to his assignments? Because remember, we were trying that with Bredesen last year, and there were times Bredesen wasn't getting there. So I'm not saying they don't have it in the scheme. They do have it. Pat, I just put something in the private chat that you can take a look at real quick. It's like a minute long. If you think that you want to share that with everyone, which goes into Van Roten, what I was talking about, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, Coach Caesar, you're right. It is set up, by a good run game that is working. So that's why, one of the things. When DJ was doing well, what was the thing that he was successful with, which was split zone. The split zone. Now, part of that is Saquon, but yeah, there you go. If you take a look right there, this is on Van Roten.
Okay, so go ahead, Coach. Go
ahead, run it. Just run it.
All right, this is Van Roten here run blocking. So this was against the Patriots, who had a pretty good defensive line. Van Roten is number 70. I don't know if you can see my cursor there on him. Are you guys? Can you guys see it pretty well?
I see it.
Okay. Pause, man. That's Van Roten. He gets out there. He gets a little block right there.
And you see how he
handles him.
Flips the hip. He does a good job. Good footwork. He's quick. That's why I said when I was sitting there looking at Filato's breakdown, I was like, oh, wait a minute, this guy's better than people were saying.
Well, no, that's why I said he was going to be a starter. He was going to be our starting guard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. So,
but still having one or two run blockers still doesn't make a run blocking O-line.
No, you understand that.
Yeah.
But
I think we have to work a lot off double teams.
Mm-hmm. The combination JMS is going to be key.
Blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Because he looks like he's pretty good at those combination blocks. We got to see if JMS can be good on those combination blocks. Like that center there, if he would have did his combination block correctly, that would have been a big run. Like he should have been pushing off and he should have been running forward by now, but for some reason he just got stuck on 52.
Well, you put a helmet on the helmet and you got to pound that rock. And after 1 or 2 quarters, people are like, man, I don't want to tackle this guy anymore. And here he comes.
All right, so he gets a pretty good nudge right there to help out his right tackle. Gets to the second level. That's actually a very good block because it's a bootleg. So, yeah.
And I think this is against the Jets.
Yeah. I mean, he looks pretty solid to me, but yeah, get some people, move some people out the way right there.
Yeah.
So
he's actually pretty quick too.
Exactly. So it's like
that tight end got beat. That's why that 78 got beat. Yeah, he gets to that second level pretty quick, coach.
Exactly. So, and he's riding the block. See, that's the
he
thing.
rides the block all the way down the field.
Exactly. So, it's like, I'm sitting here, and that's him and Illuminor right there working in conjunction with each other.
Yep, he gets to the second level, seals off that linebacker. He's definitely not going to make a play. And a touchdown.
So, and this is against us.
Oh, that's
and that's Fabio. Exactly.
Lord have mercy.
Says he's 34, has a ton of wisdom.
Stop.
Uh-oh. Oh, baby.
The baby.
Oh, that was a good combo block he did right
there. Are you done?
And that's a great job. He helped the center and pushing the one tackle who's actually to his side, inside. And then he comes right off to the linebacker.
Then gets to the linebacker, makes a good push right there.
Center is the one that blew that play up.
You want to come sit in the chair?
Yeah, coach. You see that block he did right there?
Exactly. Now, if we get blocking like this, then we can run inside.
Go to bed.
I think any of our running backs, because they don't have to be power backs, but we need JMS to also open up to help and open up.
Okay, so that right there, that's what you want right there. Get him pushed
hip,
to the 77's right side. I think 77's Illuminor. Gets him pushed over there to his right. Gets to the second level, blocks Mosley. Jacobs read it, big run. Huge run. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. We might have more talent than we think. Who knows?
Yeah, we thought that last year, too.
Now, I will say this. Now, for Singletary, you give him blocking like this on the inside, he can do some damage. And if he get blocking like this, then that changes my whole concern. Then that justifies what Joel is saying. But the whole thing is, number one, JMS needs to come back, like Sleazy saying. He needs to come back, and he needs to get in there as the center, get him over to guard, and to be honest with you, I'm fine with Stinney as guard. I'll be honest with you. I don't have a major issue with him. He seems to be serviceable. he was okay with Tampa Bay. So you
Yeah,
know,
he was solid. He
you
was a
know
starter. He was solid.
exactly. So this is that's where it's building depth for us. So it's cool. JMS is the whole key to this whole offensive line. JMS, because if you give me AT, Van Roten, Illuminor, and then I mean Runyon, we know is not the greatest of
Hey,
run blockers as has been said, but if we can help him, I'm confident we could do.
Paul.
Okay, you're talking about speed rushes in the pass game. Yeah, I was just talking about more in the. I'm right now focused on the run game, Coach TJ. That's what I'm saying. I think he would be fine working inside, and he's still a veteran. And even if he's not starting, and you move Van Roten over to the guard, and you have JMS. My concern right now with JMS is number one, the injuries, but number two, coming back, getting comfortable with the other guys, and opening up the lanes right up the gut. If we can do that, bro, then it changes my whole concern. I'm going to be honest with you. It really does.
Mm-hmm. And here's a good point by Andrew before we wrap it up. He says Tampa Bay's running game improved by 20 yards per game after he started playing. That was Stinney.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is a pretty good run blocker, but you do have to worry about faster pace rushes going against them in the middle. But I don't think he would be a starter. But
Clyde, what do you mean, Nemar? Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Oh, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, yeah, he's a free agent. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I mean, I guess he got Fat Man Helaire. He did get Fat Man. He can get it a little. I don't know. I just hope that we just have some type of running game this season. I don't want to be the Bills before they started using Cook, because they was getting their butts whooped before they started using Cook last season. And then when they started using Cook, they ran off like 6 or 7 in a row.
To answer Mr. Anthony, I think our weakness right now out of those is cornerback number 2.
Yeah, that's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we might need it. We definitely need another linebacker and another edge rusher. But right now, the main one out of them 3 we need first is a cornerback number 2.
And I think Nick McLeod can actually fill that role if they give him a chance. I think Nick McLeod is nice. He's a veteran, and he's not going to let anything get behind him. You just got to worry about the short game with him, like the quick slants and things like that. But if we're able to run zone, that could take that away if our front four is getting there. So, who knows? But didn't plan on being on there this long, but y'all always seem to get me somehow. But y'all got any last things to say before we get up out of here?
Subscribe to Classified 3F with Joe, damn it.
That's a fact.
No, thanks, guys.
500.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe to Coach Ed Gladney.
Now you can monetize at 500, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get super chats at 500.
Yep.
And you got 418, so you only need
82
subscribers.
Yep.
But as far as this preseason game, I am going to be very interested in this preseason. It's not going to be boring to me because I love watching the game. And as far as seeing what our depth would look like.
When is the game?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
It'll be 7 your time, 6 my time.
Okay.
Giants
on the NFL Network.
7 p.m. Thursday Night Football.
So we'll be calling it tomorrow. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. You know, me and Coach, if Coach is able to come on the panel during the game, we're going to be talking a lot of stuff about the second and third stringers. Hopefully Lou can be calm and be able to come on, look at the stream. He usually leaves us. Yeah, he usually leaves us when the game is going because he be cursing out everybody.
And it's preseason 1, so there's no reason for me to lose it.
And Joe, if you're up to it, I hope you can come on the panel tomorrow as well, bro.
Well, I got you. It's a Giants game.
Okay. Well, we'll see Joe tomorrow as well. NYG will be on there tomorrow as well. So you see
Uh,
us plus NYG at least tomorrow.
Back in time.
Right. And this will be the first game of the 2024 season we will call. Hey, Sleazy, thank you for subscribing. To Joe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Deilla says Clyde Fat Man Allaire is still with the Chiefs. Okay. And Deilla, if you can't come on the show one time, come on the show, bro. I've been trying to get you to come on the show, man, so you can show your channel and stuff too, because you always supported us from day one. And he has a channel as well. So hopefully you can come on the show and kick it with us for a little bit, man. You know the offers are always out there for you, bro. But if there's no more words, y'all know what time it is, man. Yep.
Looks like we got another one! On the ground! This is the Gulag. In here, you fight to win back your life. Gates!